This is sort of an accidental review video. I ended up with both a Chipolo and a Tile Bluetooth. Now, Tile is sort of the #1 leader, especially in the United States, for things like online sales. Chipolo, it turns out, actually sold quite a few, mostly in Europe and mostly things like in stores. So I ended up with both because I'd ordered the Tile, but there was a bit of a problem with the shipping, and I didn't know that I was going to ever get it. So I was in Europe at the time, and it turns out it was easier to get a Chipolo. So I got a Chipolo, and then later the Tile arrived. So I ended up with both and kind of had to decide which one do I want to buy more of, because the great news is actually both are excellent. So they're Bluetooth trackers, and the way they work is they connect to the Bluetooth connection on your phone's remembering where you are, and when the connection gets lost, it assumes that's where the device is. Works pretty good. Or it also works that if it can connect to it, you can make it ring, or you can try and go find it. Differences, first, right out of the box, differences are, on paper, they look to be nearly identical dimensions, but when you hold them in their hand, the Tile is significantly more chunky and heavy. And probably a lot of that has to do with the sharp edges. This one here, the Tile is much smaller. It looks more like just a standard ring. The Chipolo comes with multiple colors, while the Tile is just the one color, but now I just saw that they announced that they have sleeves that you can buy, which look pretty cool. So I guess the aesthetics, for me, I like the smaller size, so I'll give a small win to Chipolo on that. So if I bring up Tile, you can see it's more or less the same thing. Differences are, you can go ahead and switch to a map view. Here's the Tile map view. And here we can go into here, and we can go ahead and switch over to the map view on the Chipolo. Both of them have the option of both, you can ring the phone from the Bluetooth tracker, or you can do the reverse. So I can take a look at my keys, and I can go ahead and find, and it's going to go ahead and make a ring. Likewise, I can go over to the Chipolo, and here I've got my car keys. I can go ahead and switch. Here's Matt's keys here. Oops. And we can hear a similar ring. Both are strong enough, but not so strong that you would hear them in a noisy room. But again, this is only going to work at a distance. Now, I ended up doing some research as I was trying to find another one. And both, basically, these RFIDs, for these ones, I checked them out, and they're nearly identical range. Slight advantage to the Chipolo, but it's so slight it hardly matters. And as I understand from reading a bunch of reviews, both of these products are probably at the top end. Now, claims for distances, this is a problem. I've actually had Bluetooth products before. Here's a Bluetooth headset. So what's the distance, how many meters, really depends a lot on electrical noise, what kind of rooms, but basically it's going to be in room, and the room next to it maybe a little bit further, and that's what you're going to get. Core features wise, they're both pretty much similar. So again, we can go in and customize both of them. The Chipolo is a shake and find system. So this is what's going to go ahead and trigger the phone, while the Tile is going to be a push button, and you have to do a double check. So both are going to go ahead and clear enough to go ahead and find your phone, and it's work because they work great because they're in the background. Chipolo has another neat little thing for taking selfies. I'm not a selfie guy, so I don't know much about that. Tile on the other side has something where you can actually take a picture of the let's see details. I can go ahead and change a photo and actually change what it is, while on the Chipolo it's color coded for what the Chipolo is. Tile is going to have a 1-year life, and then you're going to have to send it back to them. Another negative I didn't like is it's not easy to transfer these between people. So in the case of the Chipolo, I typically set them up on my phone and then transfer them to my parents or my wife or even one of my toddler kids. Where else is a difference in terms of what's here? Slightly different views and aesthetics, not much difference. We can also kind of take a look. One thing I don't particularly like is the tile here is trying to upsell you constantly, trying to get you to log on to Amazon and give them a review. And they're suggesting I don't have a wallet bag and car tile. I gave these tiles to other people, and there doesn't seem to be any way to remove them. I find that a little kind of annoying and sort of harassing. Otherwise, and again, you have to, when you unlink one, it never works again. So I find that a little bit less good about it. What's really good though, the tile onboarding. So when you first get the tile and you need to pair it with Bluetooth, pairing with Bluetooth is always a little clunky. And in this particular case, tile, hats off to them. Best work I've ever seen. The Chipolo's not bad. It's actually quite good, but tile's a bit better in that respect. Where do I get help? Help Center. So this is the Tile Help Center. I'm going to try and bring that up. Because this is a Bluetooth product, it's going to have things to do with the phone. And here we have sort of top questions, FAQs that browse topics, and trying to figure out where is the help. If I can just, and it has a button here, use Bluetooth. I have no idea why you wouldn't want to use Bluetooth because it doesn't work without that. Again, get free tiles. That has to do with trying to sell me more tiles. I don't know, but I know on the website Tile, you can go ahead and get support, and they have California hour support. From the Chipolo, I was just doing this recently. If I click Help and Support, here they've got actual live numbers. And they're doing 24/7. I've tried the chat, it does work. And it does, I haven't tried it from the phone. I can go ahead and do that and see whether that comes up. Yeah, and this is particularly nice, having somebody can sort that out, especially since my parents don't live anywhere near me, that there's somebody else to sort that out. The issue with these sort of Bluetooth things is 99.9% of the time they have very, very little value. It's a bit like backups on your computer. It's just suddenly you lose your hard drive, and now your backup is the most important thing in what's going on. So same thing here. Suddenly you lose the keys and you're trying to find it with your app. If you're kind of in a panic like I was one time when I'd lost a set of keys, it was great to be able to contact support knowing that I was doing absolutely everything that could be done to try and relocate them. In a nutshell, what's the difference? They're both about the same price, similar size. I like the packaging a bit more on the Chipolo, but that's a matter of personal style. Performance, nearly identical. I like the idea that you can change batteries and that you can transfer it, and so you have it forever on the Chipolo. The Tile, though, doesn't need to change batteries for a solid year, which is a nice upset. You don't need to be watching and monitoring battery changes. The Chipolo comes with 2 batteries, but it still means opening it up and changing a battery. Both the apps are excellent. They're reliable, they're solid. Slight better improvement on the onboarding on the Tile, but for the Chipolo, for a more classy experience, I'll give it to the Chipolo there. So basically, I guess it comes down to this. Which one do you think looks better? Do you like smaller rather than larger? And do you take selfies? And do you like colors? Or would you prefer a skin? Otherwise, they're pretty good. They're pretty equivalent, and I recommend you put something like this into your life. Thanks.